A long torso and short legs.
This is OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
All right, here we go. OverDrive off and running. TSN 1050 on the TSN app, your home smart speaker, up on TSN 4, up on YouTube Live, later tonight up on Crave, where you can stream my whole Pro-Am here at the RBC Canadian Open. They should have the whole round up on Crave.
Yes, for sure.
I think it would do serious numbers tonight. This actually was, that's not a great wedge, but I had a blast today. We're out there. I want to thank everyone here at RBC, everyone at TPC Toronto, Golf Canada, our friend Lawrence Applebaum running the whole show.
Were you and Lawrence dialed in out there? Tell me about
very
some great. It seems like I didn't see any video of Lawrence, but apparently somebody. What are we calling Doogie again?
Doogie Pepper.
Doogie Pepper was out there following you and doing course analysis. He got every good shot dialed in.
Yes, he did. Yeah, Doogie Pepper was whispering behind me every shot. It was actually very intimidating. And we had a great time. We had a blast. We had Victor Hovland in the morning. Good Canadian boy, Ashton McCullough in the afternoon. And Ashton's going to come and join us here around the table. He's going pro this weekend.
Wow.
So he was at Michigan State. He was a great varsity player. He's a Kingston boy. So I think he's a Leaf fan, but we'll confirm that.
Friend of the show? We'll call him friend of the show.
Immediate friend of the show.
That means this weekend, if he wins, he keeps the cash. Is that what I'm to believe?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because his agent's over there
and she's
nodding.
smiling right now.
She is nodding
it's
and saying,
all about cash.
Let's make this thing happen. Because once you go pro, they don't take the dough away.
Does it not feel weird that we are sitting down and he's on a high chair? Even though it looks normal on TV.
Why are you so high in your chair?
If you want, we got a cold call Bob McKenzie, and he'll explain this formula to you. Whenever we were on wood stools doing a shot somewhere, World Juniors, Hall of Fame game, the cameraman would say, O-Dog's head is not in the shot.
It's Harry and the Hendersons. He's on the roof right now. I don't know what's going on.
Dude, when I flew to Kelowna, somebody sat beside me and said, "Are you 6'7"? And I said, "No, I'm barely 6 feet tall."
Dude, you are like an anomaly because your feet, from your waist to your toes, you're 5'2". And your waist to your head, you're 7'4". You're Wemby.
He's Wemby from here on.
If you had Wemby's legs, you'd be playing at the Garden tonight.
Yes.
You would literally be playing.
Bottom down, I'm Wee Man from Jackass.
It is a wild setup.
It's a wild scene, man. I'll never. Every time at the Hockey Hall of Fame game, the cameraman would be like, guy's head, O-Dog, the guy, his head's not in the shot. I don't know why.
It's absurd, man.
I feel like I'm looking up.
Yeah,
like
I know.
Literally looking up at him.
But he's on point with us.
Exact same
he's on point.
size of the stool.
Doogie, if you got a measuring tape in the first commercial, I want to measure to see if our stools are at the same length.
I think you might be lower than mine.
He might be lower.
I know.
It's a wild setup.
Wemby's upper body.
Yes.
And
You're Wemby from the waist up and you're Wee Man from the waist down. It is
short
crazy setup. Ashton McCullough around the table.
Nice to see you.
What an introduction.
Great to see you. Congrats. Turn a professional. I can't wait to see you.
How's it feeling to be a pro? I mean, that's your first Pro-Am as a pro. What was that experience like?
It was, I mean, I had the best partner to start. So
very true.
He was out there showing me how to play. But, no, it was super cool. Obviously, to start my pro debut here in Canada is a great opportunity, and I'm excited.
Kingston boy, go ahead.
Kingston boy, we love good Kingston boys.
How can you not?
Yeah. What did you see out of this cat today? Like anything concerning, alarming? Just give us the goods on what you saw, because there was probably some nonsense out there.
There was a lot of good. There was a lot of good tee balls. He drove it well.
Thank you.
Long.
Thank you.
Apparently, I didn't want to see the front nine, so I'm glad I didn't, because I don't want to have that bad image in my head.
I was horrendous on the front. Like,
took you a while?
Literally the worst player out here, based on a cap, like relative to a cap. I was horrendous. But I put it together on the back to an extent.
You did.
To an extent.
Yeah.
Now, you matched the balls, so it's very, very inspiring.
I want to know.
That's a positive review.
I get it, and I know there's sponsors and there's people you got to be nice to and all that. But is the pro approach where it's like, I just can't look at this stuff. Like I just got to do my thing, and I got to move along and try to get some rhythm and get the hell out of here without being rude. I mean,
yeah, there's a lot of time where, for me personally, I don't watch a lot of AM's putt. It's not something I want to see a lot of the time.
I don't blame you, man.
Off the tee and hitting into the greens, though, I understand golf's a hard game. I understand that too. We all do out here even at this level. So, but yeah.
I chiseled a wedge in on 18.
You did.
You saw that, and I just wanted to point that out. It was actually
from how far?
85.
It was nice.
Really?
It was like
clip downwind too.
MG5s, man. You play them, right?
I do.
You're tailor-made.
Thing is, the pros,
Whole nine.
they will see some things, and in your career with these pro-ams, you are going to see a million things that are like, I can't even look at that person. But it sounds like you did all right.
We had a good day, but there are, I'm sure there's a lot of different people you're going to play with where it's ugly.
There's some weird stuff. I wanted to ask you, like, just being here the last couple of days and watching these guys, like, I think people have this idea a tour player just wheels to the first tee and launches a 300-yard tee ball. Like, this is the putting green. It's the range. It's like a full day grind each and every day. Like, there's so much work that goes into it. I don't think people really I know they understand you guys take your craft seriously, but it is a full day grind out here. You guys are basically at the course the whole day.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like a lot of other sports where it's not as physically demanding. It's hard to be on the hockey rink for 6 hours a day, but you can easily spend that chipping and putting and being on the range. You hit, obviously the majority of your shots are pretty short on the putting green, around the putting green, chipping and putting. So you spend a lot of time there, obviously, and that's what really separates, I think, this level from the level below.
Good Canadian boy Ashton McCullough joining us here at the RBC Canadian Open, TPC Toronto. Give yourself a shout-out to your home course.
Cataraqui Golf and Country Club, baby.
And you shot 59 the other day.
I did.
59 the other day. But it's an unofficial course record because you're saying it's got to be during a tournament.
Yes.
So no one else has shot in the 50s, I'm assuming.
Let me guess something. That's not the first time you've done it there.
No, it isn't.
I knew it.
You've shot 59 there before.
No. Sorry. It is.
Okay, at that course, but you shot in the 50s before?
I haven't. No, I haven't.
Okay,
sorry, I misunderstood the question.
Because that's different, man.
You should have rolled with it anyway.
I know. It would have been way cooler if you're like, every other week.
Times, yeah.
But 59, I mean, that you were telling me a little bit about it. That's to launch into your pro career, you must be feeling it right now.
Yeah, it was obviously a really cool week, and to have that leading up to this event, know the game's in a good place, and looking forward to it and show it off.
What kind of vibe you getting on this track? What do you think has to happen? Is this bomb and gouge, or is this keep it in the fairway?
Yeah, it's a long ballpark, obviously. There's a lot of long par fours, but if you're driving it in the rough, you just can't play from there. The rough's pretty thick in a lot of spots, so obviously it's going to reward someone that hits it a little longer, but if you're not in the fairway, it's going to be hard from there.
Yeah, there were, like, I saw you, Victor, this morning, like literally hitting wedges out of the rough. Like, you know, if you missed the fairway, there were times where it's on 18. I think you missed left. You're not going at that green,
no.
Right? Like,
no,
you just got to put yourself in a
yeah.
different position. Yeah, that's just the way it sets up. But so what are you bracing yourself for? Like, now that you launch yourself into a pro career, you went to Michigan State, right? And you just finished your varsity career. Like, how far out do you map your plans, so to speak? Is it week by week? Year by year? How do you approach, launching your pro career?
Yeah, golf's kind of a crazy sport in the sense that 1 week can change your whole career, right? Obviously, if I go out here and play really well, then my plan looks a lot different.
Yep.
And things can change. So it's very fluid in the game, and just trying to, climb the tours if that's what the path is. But hopefully if a couple weeks go well, then maybe skip a couple and just have fun.
So you were a goalie growing up. Noodles,
oh, really?
Big-time goalie in the Kingston hockey community.
Well, the duster gives it away, right? The Stuart Skinner duster. I love it.
Absolutely.
So, hey, goaltenders, I don't mind that. I was going to actually ask you, you get paired up over the weekend. Is there anybody that you'd be a little bit overwhelmed with? You'd be like, seen this guy and maybe idolized him a little bit, and all of a sudden you're battling against him.
Yeah, I mean, Tommy Fleetwood's obviously he's an amazing player, but
it's right behind your shoulder, right now.
Literally right here.
His swing is something that I want to swing like.
Yeah.
whenever I'm struggling, I go to his swing and look at it. So that would be really cool, right? But at the same time, it's trying to change that mindset to now they're all my peers. I'm playing against them now, and they're not necessarily on a pedestal.
I got to let you know, it was a couple years ago that you worked with Tommy Fleetwood?
Yeah, I did work with him, yes. I worked with him at the Pro-Am at Oakdale a few years ago. And he lost to Nick Taylor in the playoff. But the year before, I played with Nick Taylor.
Yes.
And Nicky went on to...
saying everybody who Hayes plays with has tremendous success.
Generally speaking,
so if you get
out there with me at the Pro-Am, you are poised for success. It's interesting you say that, like when maybe you're struggling with something, you'd go and look at Tommy's swing, because you just said you're not watching amateurs putt. How does that work, though, in terms of getting reads off guys on tour? Like, I've always wondered that. Let's say, some guy's got a 30-footer and you're inside him. He asks you to move his mark. Are you watching that, or are you just focusing on your own read? Like, you're in your own world, and I don't want to be swayed. Maybe he hit a bad putt. I don't want to, You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you consider all that?
You can only creep in there after the guy hits.
Right, you can't be right behind him. I understand that. But still, you get a read if it's a long enough putt.
Yeah, it kind of depends on the putt. If it's something that I'm really confident it's right edge, it's in all day, then I'm not going to watch. If I'm kind of hemming and hawing about where the read is, I'll take a look if I have the chance to, but it's always something. It's nice if you can get the read if it's available.
Yeah, that's how we generally try to work it out. If we can get any help, we'll take it.
Yeah.
So you were in the U.S. Open at was it Pinehurst?
Pinehurst,
yes. Number 2.
Yeah.
And what was that experience like?
Oh, it was super cool. It was a crazy week. I played the Canadian Open at Hamilton that year.
Right.
Unfortunately, missed the cut and then went to the Monday of the U.S. Open final qualifying, got through.
Longest day.
It was a long day.
No way.
Yeah, it was super cool, obviously, and see so many names up there. And at that time, 2 years ago now I'm acting like I'm old. But, the younger self, like watching those guys, was super cool. To see Tiger Woods' name on the leaderboard, the same leaderboard as me, was something really cool to see. But overall, the week, the experience, what I learned from it was invaluable for sure.
Absolutely.
What do you think's the biggest difference from you? In 59 is the extreme. Like, that's just you going out there and teeing it up and ripping a 59, which is outrageous. And I'm sure other scores are 65, 66, 67, and then you get into tournament play. Like, what changes? It just like the pressure? It's just everything is on a bigger stage. What happens from? Because I lived in South Florida a lot, and there's a bunch of guys there that every day I was like, there's no way that this tournament that these guys are going to, they're all not winning it, because it was 65 every day. What changes in tournament golf? I just queued it up to, like, it's pressure packed and everything means something.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely got to be a part of it, right? There's a lot more pressure when you're playing in a tournament versus playing with your buddies. But in terms of score, obviously, in a tournament, they typically like to tuck some pins. That might be why you see some higher scores in tournaments compared to regular play. But yeah, for me personally, I love the pressure, love the adrenaline. I think it goes back to being a goalie in hockey.
Yes.
Look at Noodles.
Noodles.
Look at Noodles.
Between the ears.
You might honestly start tearing up.
It is, for sure.
But it's it's between the ears. They say goaltending is 90% mental. I would imagine same situation out
100%. Yeah.
So, did I hear you're a Bills fan? Were you talking about that?
I'm a Bills fan.
Like,
yes.
diehard Bills fan.
I do like the Bills a lot.
Okay, how are we feeling about the coaching change? Josh Allen going into another year.
I mean, Josh is always
DJ Moore,
be Josh.
they picked up.
Yeah, DJ Moore was a good pickup. Now he's got some help at wide receivers.
Yeah.
I mean, Josh is Superman.
Yeah.
So I trust Josh. The coaching change, I don't know how I feel about it. I'll let you know in a couple months here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited for the season.
So going to Michigan State, like playing golf there is that's a big football school. It's a big hockey school. Like, what was life like, at Michigan State?
Yeah.
A lot of Canadians go to that school, too,
A lot of Canadians do, for sure. Obviously, it being close to the border makes sense. Our hockey team was really good the past couple of years. Our football team was always really solid. Our basketball team were always awesome.
Izzo, right?
Yeah.
You ever meet him?
I did a couple times.
Seems like a beauty of a coach.
He texted me after I won the Canadian Am, which was really cool.
That's cool.
Way. But yeah, so you always had something going on. If it was football season, everyone's going to the football games, and it's a pretty small town of East Lansing. But when the students are there, 50,000 plus, it's it's pretty much just a college town. It's awesome.
That's incredible. Yeah. Awesome. Well, we're rooting for you, man. This is going to be awesome. We'll be tracking you. And, again, I've been pretty good luck in the past.
Yeah.
Right? Playing the Pro-Am, generally speaking, it works out. So we'll be tracking you this week throughout your career. Congrats on going pro.
Thank you.
And thanks so much for popping in. We appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Best of luck.
There's a handshake on the way out. Ashton McCullough, great seeing you, man. Thank you for doing that. There he is. Turn it pro. Like, that's big time, man. That's big time. Like, you once you realize money's in the game and it's go time. He's a young guy. He's obviously playing lights out. He shot 59. He's got TaylorMade throughout the bag. Mashes a golf ball. But awesome to see that. There's a lot of Canadian content out here, right?
And a tender. You gotta love that,
and a tendy.
There's my boy, Adam Hadwin, right there. I welcomed him. I yelled through the mesh here. I said, "You're welcome at Leafs Nation anytime. I know the Vancouver Canucks are in a tough spot." And he said, "Never, ever would I go to the dark side."
That's a true fan.
I'm a Canucks fan for life.
I appreciate that. That's a true fan.
And he appreciates you yelling at him while he's trying to work.
Everyone else on tour here.
He initiated the combo.
All right. So what a cup final we've got. I know we've been talking to Ashton, which has been cool. And, it's the day before the RBC Canadian Open. There goes Tommy Fleetwood cruising around.
Gave you a wave.
Yeah. He remembers me from Oakdale. I got asked 50 times today who's going to win the Stanley Cup, and I answered the same way every time. I have no idea.
Neither do I.
I have no idea now because I have swung. I've gone from Carolina sweep.
Remember what I told you
sweep.
yesterday about the swing around or the momentum changes that could go if San Antonio wins in the NBA? They'll be going back with momentum. And I talked about Carolina, and now all of a sudden we're talking about Vegas where if they don't start getting a save, how many games in a row is this guy going to give up a 4 or 5 spot? And I think the key is, one of the keys to this series, and I talked about before the series, one of the biggest keys is going to be which goalie is going to turn into a pumpkin. Because Freddie Anderson was incredible coming into it, and Carter Hart was incredible coming into it. And it's almost like they're both turning into pumpkins. And one of the keys is if Carolina, this Bussy kid could get hot, but if they don't stop giving up these breakaways and all this nonsense, like this is ridiculous.
That's the biggest surprise for me, though.
They didn't give Philly and Ottawa and everyone else, Montreal, a shot on net.
This was supposed to be 2-1s.
Yeah, a 2-1 fest.
2-1 fest every night. It's 5-4. It's
5-4 every game.
And you're right. Hart's given up 4 goals a night, but it's crazy because he's made good saves, but he's allowed bad goals too.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I thought the first goal was the worst goal.
Right.
Because you're a minute into the game, and he takes a swipe at it, goes underneath the stick. Now it comes out in the front. But this Mark Stone's come to play. But you got to look at it. Barbashev cooled off. Eichel, quiet. Yes, Marner's doing what he's doing.
Marner, I thought, was phenomenal again last night.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he was unbelievable again last night. He's the best player on the ice every single night.
He is. That's the goal I'm talking about. That's a minute into the game, and you got to be dialed in. But
Jamie, that one went in, and Mark Stone, I know he scored on a breakaway a little bit after, but Bussy made a save early on Stone, point blank.
Yeah.
And that had been going in on Freddie Anderson every other game. The first quality chance has been going in.
I told you
guys. And you can't win like that.
This Bussy, it's. I know you disagree with me, but the lefty goalie, the way he plays aggressively, Vegas didn't have an answer. I know they got 3, but he makes no apologies.
He's incredibly aggressive.
He's the same thing. Logan Thompson's the same way. They play the same way. It's aggressive, angle at the puck, where Freddie's big and just kind of methodical moves in the net. Bussy, they're going to have to figure out how they want to shoot on him because I know they got a 3 spot, but Bussy he's a different type of goaltender, and they've got to get him moving, open him up a little bit. But Vegas, both of these teams have had massive, massive breakdowns.
Yeah.
To the point where both coaches are probably going, we never saw that all season long, especially Carolina. Well, they don't give up chances like that.
Carolina lost 1 game leading into the Cup final.
Yeah.
And it was as routine, and they were in the lead the whole time against Ottawa, Philly.
Yeah.
They lost game 1 against Montreal. They played poorly. Habs took advantage, and then they completely steamrolled them. And now it's been completely opposite. And, Carter Hart, I saw the stat last night. ESPN tweeted out, Carter Hart, the first goalie to concede 4+ goals in each of the first 4 games of a Stanley Cup final. Yet it's 2-2. And like, I don't care what Rod Brindamore said. We're not seeing Freddie Anderson play again. Like, you can't take a break in the Cup final and come back. Yeah. Like, there's no chance you're playing him.
Unless Bussy explodes next game.
But then Freddie's got to dress. Like, he didn't even dress last night, which is very bizarre.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That's incredible.
He's
not playing. Bussy's playing.
You think he's there the rest of the year?
Absolutely.
There's only 3 games left.
But here's what I would say. I think they did that where they didn't want to embarrass him, like put him on the bench. It's like you're not dressing. Maybe you're not at 100%.
I know, but Jamie, do you know how risky that is? Kochetkov hasn't played since December or something.
I understand that.
That's the risk they took, not putting his gear on.
Have you ever seen that, though, in your life?
No, I'm not.
Game 4 of a Cup final, the guy goes, break, please, I'm not playing. It's a wild scene.
You know what I thought of yesterday? The Chicago Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup with Antti Niemi in net. That year, and we'll have to have Joe from the Bridge or Doogie dig it up, but out of the 16 games, I swear there's a stat where 11 of them or something, they allowed 4 goals or more. And
that was their first Cup.
That was their first Cup. It was Antti Niemi, and they just outscored the issue.
Yeah.
And I think the stat was something crazy where it was 4 goals or more in like 10 or 11 games out of the 16 wins. So it just, you got to look at it.
I think it's going to continue in this path. I don't see it slowing down.
But I can't figure out, because I'm like you. I woke up today going, I'm leaning Carolina now. But I don't know why. Other than Freddie the GOAT's mentor, who's been Jordan Staal.
Jordan Stahl's been phenomenal. That goal he scored last night was so cool. The on-the-ice
great pluck. Freddie the GOAT's mentor.
Didn't Freddie the GOAT say to you guys?
Jordan Stahl is my favorite.
That's who he plans on playing like. Which he is doing that, but it's in Switzerland now instead of the NHL.
But like even this game-winning goal here, that Shea Theodore should have just taken his gear off.
Horrible play that
and here, and watch, he pops it to the middle.
4 guys below the line.
Right to the middle, and then, but he...
That's an unreal goal.
It's an unreal, but if you look at Carter Hart, because Stahl kind of whiffs on it, Hart could have slid across. He dove and kind of stuck to the ice, and it gets a bit of it with his glove. But that's all Shea Theodore, and then Hart doesn't get across here.
Like, that's honestly outrageous that there are 4 Vegas Golden Knights below the goal line in a 3-3 game.
They could take a team picture.
Yeah.
3-3 game in the 3rd period of the Cup final.
And you're looking at it, for me, it's money in the bank, a guy like Shea Theodore. It's because he's going to make a play.
And he's going to keep playing.
But Struddy made a great point to me today. I was chatting with him. He said, there's so much pressure on the D, not pressure mentally, but physically. You look at Carolina, the way they forecheck. So you're thinking, I got to make a play quickly. Makes a mistake up the middle, tries to overcompensate, pops it to the middle. Like it looked chaos. And I think the pressure on both sides, as far as the speed and the physicality of it, you're seeing egregious mistakes on both sides.
No, it's been phenomenal entertainment. Like, it just, again, I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm not from Carolina. I'm not from Vegas. I don't care who wins.
From an entertainment standpoint, is this one of the best you've seen in a while?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like, you literally do not know what's going to happen the next shift.
And I am constantly thinking the other team is going to score or come back.
That's
you
right.
know what I mean?
If it's 2-0 or 3-0, it's not one of those ones where you click the TV off and say, this one's done.
No.
It really has been a performance. And, we keep discussing the Conn Smythe and I know Johnny said yesterday, win or lose, Marner ends up winning it. But Stankoven scores again. Jordan Stahl's got to be in the conversation now.
Guy scored every game in the finals here.
Yeah, like that's got to be a consideration. What's crazy is Freddie Anderson was the odds-on favorite from Carolina. He's out now.
Baseball cap. No, he's wearing a suit.
Yeah, he literally, recused himself from the Conn Smythe pursuit, so he's out of it.
And you think that Freddie... That's the last time he's put his gear on.
Well, you have to play Bussy in Game 5.
Why would you change anything? It's like the same lineup's the same lineup.
I think Bussy's going every game.
I just think if he has an off game in Game 5 and they lose, they might come back to Freddie. That would be my only... Like, if Bussy's no good and gets pulled, or just they lose, 6-3 and he's just not very good, I don't know if you come back with him in Vegas. I still think there is a flicker. A 20%
You're putting
Jerry's.
A small percentage on it.
I'm putting a 20% Jerry's if Bussy, and I'm not expecting Bussy to have an off game. I think he's the guy had 31 wins this year.
Yeah,
he was their starter.
He wins.
He was their starter.
Yeah, it's a great story. Like, he's not a young guy.
Well, think about it this way, how crazy this is. Carter Hart and Bussy going into the next game, who would you predict, or who would you have more of a sense after what you just watched, who would be favored to have the better goaltending performance in the next game? My vote is Bussy.
My vote is Bussy, too, because Hart didn't have a great season. He got injured. He came back. Down the stretch, he was really good, and he's been good in the playoffs leading up to the finals here. I think there's 1 or 2 goals a night he probably would put his hand up and say, I need. But he's also made some great saves. Like, there was that turnover by Theodore. That was egregious. He made the initial save.
Yeah. But no, that wasn't on him, that goal.
No, but
he has given up at least, like both goalies have given up at least 1 week one every night.
Agreed.
And maybe, listen, Carter Hart might be running out of steam. Like he hasn't, we know he hasn't played in a long time.
Yep.
And even throughout the season, he was injured and it was a tandem. Yeah, they're going to continue to play him. They're not going to Adin Hill now. It's going to be the Carter Hart show, but he may be out of steam. And I think whoever's going to win 2 of the next 3, they're going to have to probably score. They might have to score 10 goals combined in the 2 games.
Do you think,
that's a crazy number, but that might be the case.
Do you think who wins Game 5 wins the series?
I'm not sure it matters based on what we've seen.
Yeah.
Like I really don't know if it matters. It feels like it's going 7. I think it should. I hope it goes 7.
Yeah, I do too.
And again, I'm pulling for the Spurs tonight. I'd rather see the Knicks win the series because San Antonio's had their fun.
Yeah.
And I lean that way with Carolina, but Carolina won in 2006, and they've been to Cup Finals, and Vegas has won so much. They've been so successful. I don't need to see them win again.
Yeah, you can make an argument.
Carolina's not a team that I'm like dying to see win either.
Yeah.
But the Knicks, it's a really cool story. And like tonight, you talk about nerves in that building. It was a party 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
Tonight, like if the Spurs come out hot and run off, they're up 14-4 early.
Instant panic.
Yeah.
It will be.
The fans will turn on them.
A very different.
The fans will get loud there. The fans
very
will get
different
loud.
Vibe.
I was just going to say, if Carolina wins the Cup, alumni, do you get called down? Are you part of the parades?
They don't even have my number anymore. I'll tell you that, so I don't even get worried about it.
When St. Louis won the Cup, all the alumni, you saw Chaser, all those guys, they were Holly, all of those guys were enjoying it. I was invited down. I'm like, I played there in the 90s. I'm not going back.
That's a strong alumni.
Very strong.
You got to talk to Rod Brindamore and Justin Williams. They'll
be invited.
They'll do something for you. They'll hook you up.
Not happening. I'm not looking. I don't even. It's not something I even think about.
If there's a Game 7, would you go down and do that thing?
That place
I would
go
never.
Nuts.
I am 150th on the list. If you're not on one of the Cup-winning teams, they lose your number.
I don't know.
Anyway.
You're a legend there.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going 7. I do. I think it's going 7. I think if the Spurs get it tonight, it's going 7 in the NBA.
Good.
I think the Spurs have got to get a win tonight, though. They're down 3-1. That could be curtains for them. The Knicks have come alive. Jays with a big walk-off last night. Dylan Cease looked great. Max Scherzer back on the mound tonight. Like, it's crazy to look at his stats. He's only had a few starts, but he's got a 9+ ERA, which for like one of the all-time great arms, the guy we haven't seen in a while. Like, we did this so many times last year. Scherzer's back. What's he got? Scherzer's back. What's he got? We'll see, because, you're looking for another series win tonight, then they're off tomorrow, and the Yankees are in town on Friday.
What percentage of the fan base do you think should be optimistic about his return tonight? I
think you're hoping 75 pitches. If you can get to the 5th inning.
So 5th inning and 75 pitches?
Yeah, man, I think, you got an off day tomorrow. It's going to be a bullpen kind of night tonight. I think you got to be reasonable. He's 42 years old. He's coming off an injury. He doesn't have the same stuff he had clearly in his prime.
Yeah.
But he's healthy. They brought him back. They need him. So it's a big one with the Jays, Phillies tonight. Then again, they're off tomorrow. Yankees in town on Friday. Canada, Bosnia. I guess the Bosnians are playing tricks, man.
Oh, yeah?
They're washing out the media. I saw Clara Hanna. Clara's down there covering it for TSN, among other media members. And they started the water sprinkler system when the Canadian media got there to start talking to the Bosnian team.
I did see that, yeah.
So I kind of appreciate that. Like, let's get a little bit of a brewing gamesmanship kind of rivalry going. We got, by this time Friday, we're going to have a pretty good idea of how that first match is going to go. And the World Cup kicking off tomorrow. So on TSN, CTV, Crave, the whole nine. All right, we're live at TPC Toronto, RBC Canadian Open. We're giving away tickets again today. We've got Graham Dillette coming up.
Nice.
GD will be in studio at 5. Frankie Corrado coming up on the Cup final. There's another turn in the Mike Babcock story, in the Mike Babcock news.
Let's take a break and get into it.
We'll get into that. Where does Alex Tuck sit with the Buffalo Sabres if he hits the market? What does that look like, and who might be kicking tires on a guy like Tuck? So that more still to come. It's a Wednesday at the RBC Canadian Open. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and up on YouTube Live.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Overdrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you more ways to play your game your way. And the world's best golfers have returned here to the RBC Canadian Open. And we will be covering it live at TPC Toronto at Osprey Valley all week long. And here is your chance to win a pair of tickets, any day general admission tickets. This is how you win. You text the word OPEN. Text the word OPEN along with your name and city to 105050 for your chance to win. So text the word OPEN along with your name and city to 105050 for your chance to win and experience elite golf, electric energy, and the fun of the fairway. Grab your tickets now at rbccanadianopen.com. rbccanadianopen.com. We'll get to our picks. I think maybe Graham Dillette can help us with those picks. I saw GD.
So?
Well, he's up here doing stuff with TSN and the Golf Channel.
Nice.
So he had cart access.
Really?
So I'm out there, and GD is flying around, solo cart guy, just checking out the course.
That's cool.
Like, the Golf Channel
Angle,
gets
slopes.
access here. Yes, exactly. He's just trying to get a read on what he's going to be calling, because I think he's probably in the booth. He's doing a phenomenal job at that, too.
Yeah.
He's really, really good.
Yeah, he's great in the booth. I've seen him before at different events. I think I saw him in Tahoe last year as one of them. I think he did Myrtle Beach, too. But anyway, for Graham Dillette, I heard a rumor that Mike Weir might be doing some stuff with Golf Channel, too.
Really?
Is that right?
I don't know that to be fact. Dookie, look that up. Weirzy, it was on X today. It was an article saying Weirzy has a double mission this week because he's starting like golf analyst stuff with Golf Channel at the Canadian Open.
Well, I know, like last year when Amanda Balionis and I think Colt Knost, they're set up at the rink hole, right?
Yeah.
And I think they generally have people come through. I remember last year Mike Weir sat in with him for a half an hour to an hour, and he was great.
Yeah.
Like just sitting there talking, and that was CBS. That wasn't the Golf Channel. But anyway, Graham Dillette coming up. Frankie Corrado will join us. We've been talking about the Babcock to the Oilers story all week. It's truly a fascinating story. Like when you think of the history of Mike Babcock, the reputation, the resume, the Oilers, McDavid, like it is a cocktail that is just wild. And now the latest, according to Dregs and Pierre, is the Players Association has, in fact, told the league they want an investigation on what happened in Columbus a couple years ago.
With another allegation that hasn't been made public.
Right. So now the Oilers can't hire him until he gets cleared.
I think
Do you think he pulls the chute? You think he goes, I'm out of here?
Depends on what the allegation. I would go through with it, but I be careful. I think it's good that the PA passed it off to the league. Because I've said this before, a guy getting suspended, the PA has to represent the person who did the act and the victim in the act of a
like
suspension.
a hit from behind
exactly.
or a stick penalty or something.
Here, if McDavid wants Babcock as a coach, they got to be careful here too. This is the face of the franchise, the face of the league. And if he goes, oh, no problem, you want to mess with me, next time you ask for X, Y, and Z, I'm good. Like, you got to be this is something that you've got to at least factor in.
Well, that was my thought originally, was if McDavid is saying, I want Babcock, the PA is not going to get in the way of that. But I also wonder if the PA is thinking we might have to do a favor for McDavid here because, listen, we're a part of this talking point.
Right.
That it does feel like the only way Babcock comes up is if McDavid is driving it to an extent. Draisaitl, Hyman.
Right.
And I wonder if the Players Association's like, man, we got to protect you here because you're going to be responsible for this guy in a way.
Right.
Like if something else happens, not going to be to you. There's a lot of people that pointed that out.
Yeah.
But a lot of people and there's a lot of people in the hockey world that do not like Mike Babcock.
No.
And they have pointed out accurately, he knows where his bread is buttered. He will treat McDavid like a god.
Of course.
And Draisaitl like a god.
Yeah.
The 13th forward who he doesn't know, that's the story.
Right.
What happens with that guy?
Don't you get a sense, and it feels like in any negotiation, whether we're talking eBay, a house, a car, sometimes it gets to a number, or sometimes you see something where you just say, you know what?
Can't do it.
I'm pulling a pin. Wouldn't this kind of secondary thing that's not been public and it's got to go, like, as much as we said yesterday, this guy hasn't done anything illegal, he hasn't gone to jail, this has not been a banner postseason for the Edmonton.
No, not at all.
For the Edmonton Oilers. They started out with firing their coach or looking at a new coach without firing their current. It's been kind of messy.
Yeah, it has.
Very messy.
So wouldn't you say, like, and you don't want to do things just for kind of a PR look or for optics, but I think every kind of situation or negotiation, you just get to a point where you're like, actually, it's going to be a no for me.
Well,
like, no for me, dog.
I had somebody say to me today, and it was a good point, is the juice worth the squeeze here? That was the saying.
It's a great way to put it.
Because if he is the guy that, if he's Mike Babcock from the Detroit Red Wings, who coming off cups and right into Team Canada gold medals, and you're like, okay, we'll fight tooth and nail for this guy. He's had a long history after that hasn't gone as well. So, is it at some point, to your point, where it just becomes too difficult, where they're like, check, please? Now, maybe that happens if Vegas wins or loses and Kelly McCrimmon goes, we'll let Cassidy have a conversation with anybody, whether it's the Toronto Maple Leafs, which,
Well, Jonas reporting today that
Jonas likes his,
Bruce Cassidy would be very interested in listening.
Of course. Why wouldn't he? He wants to coach.
So why aren't the Leafs putting in a request to talk to the guy?
Well, maybe
they know the answer?
I would think the answer right now is exactly what's been consistent with L.A. and with the Edmonton Oilers. But why wouldn't you, if you have to continue on your business like Cassidy won't be available to you. So you look at Babcock, you look at Chief, all of the people that they might have looked at. But I think the biggest thing is if Cassidy becomes available in 2 weeks, like,
well, that's
do they pivot off of that and go, actually, he's our guy?
I mean, by all accounts, that's the guy they originally wanted.
Right.
Or at least they were requesting to talk to him. I would think so. I mean, honestly, like, Babcock's a very good coach. So is Cassidy. Like, I don't think you don't need the baggage of Babcock if Cassidy's available to you. But if he's not, and Laviolette's gone, that's the question, I think, in Edmonton. You mentioned Berube. I believe it's been reported he has had conversations with Edmonton. That would fall in that line of old school guys who've been around forever, won a cup before.
Does he have the structure and detail?
Well, based on what happened in Toronto the past year, obviously the answer is no.
That's kind of, I think.
And you think Edmonton reacted poorly to Mike Babcock possibly taking over the job? The Oiler fan will go nuts if they hire Craig Berube. Like, you're picking up a Leaf guy who was fired from the Leafs. Do you know how people would respond to that?
That's one of the things I find fascinating about this whole thing is how they've just kind of pigeonholed themselves into this circle of 3 or 4 guys that they have to hire to get the. You're telling me there's nothing outside of the box, and I'm not talking about Joe Pavelski, but how do you attach yourself to 4 guys in the whole hockey world that can be the only 4 guys to get it done?
I don't get it. It's a great point. The only thing I would say is their last hire was out of the box.
And part of that, Woodcroft, first-time head coach, I believe, too.
I think they need, there's a specific thing of 4 or 5 things that you're checking off, going, won a cup, experience, hardened coach, all of that. Maybe John Tortorella's available in 2 weeks.
Yeah, he might be coaching for his life now. Like, if they don't win the Stanley Cup, who knows?
Again, I agree with you. I just think the information process is so much. There's leaks everywhere. It's like that. Nothing's behind closed doors.
It's been
anymore.
an embarrassing summer for the Oilers.
Yeah.
And we're not even officially into summer.
No kidding.
It's not been good. But as for the Leafs and Cassidy, I do wonder if Cassidy is, he wants to coach again.
Yeah.
I think if he had his choice, I don't know if the Leafs would be the answer, but the Kings' job is gone. The Oilers' job might be gone.
Nowhere else.
Yeah, but if you're the Leafs, are you sitting there saying, do you really want to be here, or do you just really want to coach, and that's why you're willing to take the job? I don't know. I mean, if they haven't requested permission to talk to him, I'm not sure they're going to do that a week from now if it's available to them. But I agreed with Jonas in terms of why not wait? Like, you've gone this long. Let's say you're thinking Joe Pavelski.
Yeah.
He's not giving you a drop-dead date. He's not saying, I got to know by Friday or I've got dinner plans.
Yeah. Flying to Italy for the weekend.
Yeah, if it's in 2 weeks, they tell Joe Pavelski it's in 2 weeks. Yeah. And if in 2 weeks they've gone through Bruce Cassidy, then I would suggest that's a smart play for the Leafs.
I agree.
But
give yourself options. The one thing I do in talking to somebody today, teams want to have stuff set in place usually before the draft.
Understandable.
Because the coach comes in and they start to, you get that sorted. But this has been, and I continue saying this has been bizarro year. All year long, it's been a weird year. And I think this offseason has continued to be bizarro world. From the Leafs to the Oilers to you name it. Vancouver took a bit to get Manny sorted out there and RJ.
And, what's going to happen with trades, what's going to happen with free agency. It sounds like Alex Tuch and the Sabres not that close. And, he's a Rochester guy. He's a state, New York State guy that's had career years in Buffalo. They just had a magical season.
But it kind of ended a little weird for him, though. It did. He was
0 points.
Pointless against Montreal.
Pointless, and he was taken off the line. I think he was demoted. So, and I know a lot of times those feelings don't carry into the offseason, but that's just like, we needed you the most. You weren't really there, and now you're demanding the world. What a fascinating concept. It's got to enter Buffalo's head.
Well, and furthermore, if you're Buffalo, you can't get caught up in the emotional storm of this was so magical, everyone gets to come back.
Yeah.
It's still pro sports. You got to be ruthless. You didn't win a Stanley Cup.
No.
You got to the second round.
Yeah.
Like, you had a great
that's
year.
what they have to weigh it. Like, the $11.5 million we're going to allot to Alex Tuch with all the other high-priced talent they have, who's a winger, who's not exactly young.
Yeah,
30 years old.
That's a very dangerous contract.
I agree.
That's where they got to get the Vegas Golden Knights mentality and say, what are we going to do with this guy? Can we go out and find somebody else who's younger that can produce that we're not paying $11 million to? Do they want to fall in the trap?
Well, now the flip side of that, devil's advocate side of it, and people in Buffalo are going to say, here goes Hayes again. It is Buffalo.
Right.
So,
to attract
and
people.
what I mean by that is 6 months ago, you would have said, Tuch wants to stay.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Are you crazy?
Like, who do you think you're getting in Buffalo? So you do kind of, there's a part of that as well. I'm playing devil's advocate to my own point in terms of smart management. But who else? It's not Vegas. You're not getting the next Mitch Marner.
Right.
That guy's not going to the Buffalo Sabres.
Has Buffalo come off of a few players no trade list because of the young talent there, because of what you see, the potential there?
I don't know.
I
honestly don't know.
Well, I would argue, and we talk about this all the time, I don't think Ottawa is number one destination for people. Obviously, Edmonton, not that long ago, wasn't.
But they got the big dogs.
But the thing is if you have a team that you like and project to be, and Anaheim's not the destination for everybody, but you could see what they're building. Yeah, Anaheim obviously has the weather and all of that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I could argue that even maybe it's 10%, maybe 20% of Buffalo might have changed players' minds going, they got something there. Like, I like that player. I like Benson. I like,
No, they're a good team. I'm not disputing that.
Right.
It might take more than 1 year.
Yeah,
and it's
that's
still, we'll see. I'm pulling for Buffalo. I've always been a fan,
loved
and
them,
I'm always pushing for them. All right, Frankie Corrado coming up. Graham Dillette will join us. We'll get to our picks for the Canadian Open. So we got our tailor-made picks coming up, and our best bets later this afternoon. LeBron doing the rounds. He was doing the rounds with ESPN. He's got a podcast. He's, I guess, sat down with Time Magazine, and LeBron has his viewpoint of who the greatest player of all time is, and it might surprise you. We'll tell you about that as well. We're live at the RBC Canadian Open, TPC Toronto at Osprey Valley. Overdrive continues, TSN 1050 and up on TSN 4.
faster. Learn more at tailormadegolf.ca/QI4D.
Tonight on TSN 1050.
Throws it on his head.
The Spurs try to knot the NBA Finals up at 2 in Game 4 versus the Knicks.
The Brunson burner has been lit.
Coverage starts at 7:30 p.m. Hear it all on TSN 1050. Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Graham Dillette coming up. GD will help us with our tailor-made picks coming up into the next hour because we got a great field. It is a phenomenal field. Every time you turn a corner, you're like, hey, there's Tommy Fleetwood, there's Victor Hovland, there's Brooks Koepka. Like, it's just loaded, man. The Fitzy brothers, there's 20-plus Canadians out here.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a phenomenal tournament. So we'll get to our picks coming up. Frankie coming up. So our good friend Kevin Weeks reporting that the Ottawa Senators may be kicking tires on Stuart Skinner. Maybe Stu Skinner coming back to a Canadian team.
They need somebody there that can play minimum 35 games.
I like him in that role.
I don't mind him as long as Olmark is starting in the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's the thing for me. Like, can you trust Olmark's going to be ready for the playoffs? Because Skinner can.
Never mind the
do some
playoffs,
heavy
Brian.
lifting.
What about the other 50?
But that's what I'm saying. Skinner in the regular season can do heavy lifting. He can play. He'll be
their team
available.
is structured defensively. I think he'd be good there. He's a big goaltender. I just don't know if they want to what would the price tag be? Because I actually think the other goalie, Connor Ingram, might be a better suited to Allmark.
Right.
Because Ingram's 29, Skinner's 27, so they're both in that wheelhouse. I think Skinner might cost you more money. That's the thing, if you want to save that money somewhere else. But
don't you think the position and the way the game is played nowadays, it's worth paying a little bit more extra cash?
100%. It's just they've got Levi Marilainen there. I believe Marilainen needs waivers this year. That's why I keep banging the drum that there should be 3 goaltenders on a roster. Because most teams use 3 goaltenders every year.
Yeah.
But now you're going to see this waiver shuffle because they're talking about Kosa in Detroit and
he might get flipped to Edmonton.
Right. They're saying, but DiPietro from Boston, who was with Vancouver, he's a really good goaltender at the AHL level. He's not going to make it through waivers this year. So I always believe you need 3. What's going to happen in Toronto?
Oh yeah,
Artie.
Well,
Artie's in the finals, standing on his head.
But I think he's still on a 2-way next year.
Yes.
It's Hildeby, Stolar's, Wall you got to figure out.
Yes.
Because you're only keeping 2 of them.
But we should check into it because Artie's 24, and I'm not sure if it's his 3rd or 4th year pro.
Well, what if he's ready to play? And
Well,
what if he's better than the other guys?
Then that's
play him.
Then John Chaika has to make that decision.
Yeah, because he has been phenomenal for the Marlies.
He's been great.
He's been
I've
really
seen him
good.
live. I can't wait. I'm going to go to, I think, next Thursday's game. They have a weird schedule because of the World Cup there.
Right,
They play it back-to-back.
Can't get down to BMO.
They play a
Toronto
Thursday, Friday.
Stadium.
So, yeah, I talked to somebody at the Marlies yesterday, and they're flying, I believe, to Chicago today.
Okay.
So they're ready to rock.
Ready to rock. Let's go. Let's go chase the Calder Cup.
You know, in another month, there'll be some bozo. We'll have a field day talking about the decisions that are made as far as getting a goalie, getting this guy, getting that guy.
Well,
some crazy-ass stuff is going to happen.
The pool, UFA, free agency list is not deep.
No.
But you are seeing teams that I think are going to have big trades. Like, I think you're going to get what you want here. I do.
I hope you're right, dude.
Okay,
I've been waiting for
that's deja vu, man, because you've said that for 4 years in a row.
What would be crazy? I can give you 2 names that would probably jump off the page. Morgan Riley and Darnell Nurse. Would that be...
I think it's predictable, though, right now.
You think so right now?
I mean,
been talking about it all year.
Would it be more surprising if they returned to their teams?
Yeah, I guess.
Like, I hear you. They're very good NHL players with big cap hits. I want to see something more significant than
something
that.
Spicy.
Something that really pushes the radar.
Okay.
Like, and listen, Dylan Larkin. Maybe that, right?
That's
Dylan Larkin, maybe that. All right, hour 2 coming up live from the RBC Canadian Open, TPC Toronto. Graham Dillette will join us. Frankie coming up. We got our tailor-made picks still to come. Best bets still to come. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on the TSN app.
Toronto sports. This is OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
Hour 2 OverDrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you more ways to play your game your way, live from TPC Toronto. There it is. The Brian Hayes shots, they are phenomenal shots. I mean, there's a lot of great TV coming in, great video coming in. This was on the front. I was actually better on the back.
Hold on. We've got a golf analyst here that can break this down.
Graham Dillette has joined us around the table. GD is one of the very few people on earth that has solo cart access here.
Yes.
I saw him multiple times bombing around in his own cart. And you saw me.
Jimmy Nance special.
Jimmy Nance special. I chiseled a little 60-degree. What was that, on 17?
That was nice. I was actually impressed. I got it on video, too.
Thank you.
Wow.
I actually, in all honesty, put it on video because I was going to show these guys here in about an hour's time. But
you thought I was going to chop that up. Like, be clear. That was a difficult shot. There was a very good chance I would have bladed that thing.
Tricky little shot. I thought you did a great job.
Thank you.
Better than I expected.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So this is the only way to put it. If you were on vacation and you went to tee it and you saw him on the range, would you be saying, I really hope that guy doesn't come up and join me? Or would you say, I could play with that guy? It's one or the other.
I could play with him.
There you go.
That's my guy.
He's always got a smile on his face anytime I see him.
That's my guy.
Both of us. We're the same.
You are always happy. When you're at a golf course,
yes,
always happy.
Are you sure about that?
Generally speaking. Great to see you, buddy. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for being here.
How you enjoying yourself here?
It's been good. I got my family in.
Yeah, it's great.
So
it's
we
awesome.
did Niagara Falls Monday morning, and then the Jays game on Monday evening. Hockey Hall of Fame yesterday, and then buzzed out here.
So the whole Canadian landscape
experience.
You're giving all the kids.
We missed the CN Tower. That was about it.
Okay. Well, we can find a way to make that work.
It's scary up there, though. You look at that glass floor. I don't like that.
I haven't been up the CN Tower in forever.
I don't
unless you're a tourist, who goes up the CN Tower? Like, I've lived here my whole life. I think I've been up there once.
Have you done the steam whistle tour at any point in your life?
No. Who does tours in their hometown?
I did.
You've done a tour in Toronto.
Steam whistle tour.
Dude,
yeah.
You're not going to take your kids to a steam whistle
I didn't take
tour.
my kids. I don't know what I did. I went on the tour.
Okay.
I think it was a buddy who was in town. I'm like, let's do the steam
But if you
whistle.
go to Dublin, you do the Guinness tour automatic.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I'm from Toronto. Naturally, I'd go on the tour in Dublin. Who's jumping on a tour bus in Toronto? Hey, this is Yonge Street. Yeah, thank you. I'm
Good
aware
luck
of that.
with the World Cup going on.
Well, you're not sitting in a double-decker bus, like waving at people on Bay. You go down to Steam Whistle, you go to CN Tower, you go to a Jays game.
Okay.
Like, you take it all in.
All right. Well, your kids look pretty athletic. You get them into golf? Like, how's it working here, JD?
Yeah, they both started playing. My son plays in the PGA Junior League. My daughter just finished a little golf camp of her own as well.
Wow.
So,
nice.
Yeah, they both love it.
I love it. Well, it's great to see you, buddy, because you're up here doing double duty, right? You got the TSN stuff. Yeah. Obviously, you're doing stuff with us always, and you got the Golf Channel thing going. I was telling you in the break, you're doing phenomenal in the booth.
I appreciate that.
Are you enjoying that? Like sitting in there? And...
It's fun. The nice thing, and I tell these guys all the time, I'm like, there's no stress at all. You know, you don't come to it. Like, I look now at these guys on the range, and I'll watch them hit a few balls. I'll go out, tour the golf course in my solo cart, the Jim Nance special.
Yeah.
And I'll come back, and these guys are still working. And I used to love doing that. Like, I loved
the grind.
Yeah. But now that I'm, like, removed 4 or 5 years, I can't imagine getting back into that.
Right. Well, we played with Victor Hovland in the morning, and we probably got off.
Humble brag.
19, a little bit of a humble brag. 12:15. He's out there putting right now.
Yeah.
Like, that was 5 hours ago. He finished his program. He's still here, and he's working on his game. Like, that's a grind, man.
Is that just is that just par for the course?
That's
no
pretty
pun intended.
standard.
Like, you're doing this stuff all day long.
It's pretty standard. I mean, and it's like, and you don't see the stuff in the gym, like right there. Like, I mean, they spend 45 minutes in those performance things off to the range, putting, chipping, and then they'll go back and see their trainer for a stretch or maybe a little bit of soft tissue or whatever. So it's a full day. So, like, I mean, Thursday through Sunday when you watch them on TV, that's 5 hours of their day, but they're out there for probably 8 or 9 that day. And then you don't see all the stuff that they do at home and in the gym and all that, yeah.
So I used to get this all the time. I don't know if you did or whatever, but do you miss it? Like, people will invite me, hey, we got a Tuesday night at midnight. Do you want to come and stop pucks? I'm like, absolutely not. But with golf, do you still go and leisurely? Like, what's your routine with that?
Well, I actually just got back from Ireland. I was on a member guest trip over there for the last week, so that was pretty fun.
Member guest trip in Ireland.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
But I, in all honesty, though, I miss like the butterflies in my belly. You know, the first tee on Thursday, or coming down the stretch and knowing you have to hit a shot and pulling that off, and that feeling that you get from doing that you can't replicate when you're playing with your buddies. And it doesn't matter how much money you're playing for. It's just not the same.
The Pro-Am on Wednesday. I'm sure you missed that a lot. Well, O was putting in a request to see the PGA Cairo on Monday. Did that work out?
I don't know why that's a big deal. The truck is right there. My back is screwed.
Could you imagine?
Why can't I go in there?
The door's right there with the glass
Just
window.
knocking.
And he's knocking and like.
Sorry, who are you again? Jeff O'Neill.
Can you get me in there or no? They'd say stuff it.
I don't even go in there anymore. No, I think they would ask me like, "Where's your proper credentials?" And I don't have them.
I'm going to go in there tomorrow with this and say, "Can you crack my back?"
Do you know how funny it would be if that guy's in there for an hour and a half and he comes out of there and someone just assumed you were a tour pro?
Tommy Fleetwood's waiting outside while he's getting his back worked up.
I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it tomorrow.
Someone's late for their tee time because he's in there getting Cairo done. Graham Dillette with us. So this is a great field this week.
Yes.
Like a phenomenal field.
Honestly, especially from where, this sits on the schedule with Muirfield last week, U.S. Open, it's better than I expected it to be. And, you got to tip your cap at some of these guys for coming up here, in all honesty, like a Matt Fitzpatrick, Tommy Fleetwood. Like, I know a lot of guys like to play the week before a major championship, but like a guy like Wyndham Clark, he won. He finished third last week. He's going as a past champion of the U.S. Open next week, and he's playing. Really good field.
Do you think that in some part is because it's on the East Coast? Like Shinnecock's in New York. If they were playing Pebble, it'd probably be very different, I would assume. But
no doubt about it. And I think the other thing, too, here, that's like the rough is up. They try to, entice guys to come by setting up the golf course somewhat. You can't replicate Shinnecock. Like, nobody can. It's one of the hardest golf courses in the world. But if you get some rough and, like, guys get a little bit of practice playing out of that heavy stuff, and who
it's
knows?
Nasty out there, the rough. Like, legit chopping out.
You're not hitting 5-iron floaters onto the green.
No, like, if you miss off the tee on 18, you cannot go for the green.
Yeah.
Like, you're just not doing it.
One of the caddies told me, he's like, this is legit, like, major championship rough here this week. So.
Yeah.
And that's the defense that this golf course has, because it's pretty generous off the fairways. You come into you can't really short side yourself out here, but if you do miss the fairways, it's going to be tough. There's going to be a lot of hackouts, and it's going to be hard to hit the greens.
Absolutely. Graham Dillette with us. So you mentioned Matt Fitzpatrick, who slowed down a little bit, but he was on a heater like a month ago, like legitimately maybe the hottest golfer in the world.
Third-ranked player in the world.
Right. Yeah. It was him, Cam Young, and Scheffler basically like going back and forth. Would he be like, who? Do you have a favorite? Do you have one guy in particular you think?
I honestly think Wyndham Clark, this golf course, because he's long.
Yeah.
And I think that the one thing that this golf course favors is length, because it takes, like, the guys who are accurate off the tee, it kind of takes their strength out of their game, because it's so wide and it's somewhat soft right now. So everybody's going to be able to hit fairways, right? So, like, the straight hitters kind of lose their advantage a little bit. So it's going to be more of a bombers if the bombers can hit it straight. And then these greens are pretty puttable. Like, there's not a ton of slope in them. You can make some putts if you're kind of putting from the right side. And, they all know, we all know that if the greens are soft like this, if you're coming from the fairways, it doesn't matter how long a golf course is. The guys, they're going to eat
Dart
it up.
show.
Yeah.
Any Canadians you got your eye on?
I think that, how do you not like Nick Taylor? He's the guy that has the pedigree, right? And he's made his last 7 cuts in a row. He's right in the mix there at the PGA Championship. He didn't close it out on the back 9 there, which I think surprised his peers and everyone in the media, because that's what he's kind of known for, is being the guy who can close. But you come back here, I know that he didn't win this at this golf course, but he knows how to get it done under. This is major championship pressure for a Canadian coming and playing the Canadian Open. So, but then I think the golf course probably suits Taylor Pendergrass' game as well as anyone. And this Sudarshan Yelamaraju is a pretty fun story this year to check out too. So I would love to see him play well and kind of just build like this. He's just snowballing into like being a star in Canada.
Right. Yeah. No, he really is. And like it's a I wouldn't say it's a transition with the Canadian game. But it felt like for a while there, I'd go back 2 or 3 years ago, like Connors, Hughes, Pendrith was in there, Hadwin was in there, Taylor was in there, and it was like these guys are going to win on tour, and they're going to compete maybe for majors. And now there's kind of been some ebbs and flows. Would you say that? Like,
yeah.
you know, like Connors is kind of fighting it a bit. Hadwin's not even on the tour all the time. You know, like the Canadian boys, it's like we got to get cooking here.
Yeah,
again.
and there is a time when, like, the torch kind of gets passed. I don't think we're there. Like, I mean, like, Nick and Corey and Taylor and Mac, I mean, those guys are all guys who can come out and still have another 5, 6, like, really good years out here. But it's cool at the same time, though, to see some young kids putting a little bit of pressure on them and saying, hey, like,
yeah,
we're here too. Like, and like, I remember when I came on tour, it was Mike Weir. And, like, I mean, it was only Mike Weir. I mean, David Hearn played out there. John Mills was out there. But it was Mike, right? And then, but now there's, like, these kids are chasing down 5 or 6 guys or whatever. It's pretty cool. It's changed a lot in 16 years.
Big time. Graham Dillette with us. Brooks Koepka, we caught up with Brooks yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like, we had a great conversation with him. He was awesome, and we talked about a lot of different things. With him, it's the putter, right? Like, O brought it up. His, you know, tee to green, he flushes the golf ball. Like, when he's on, he's a ball-striking magician. But can you see him? Like, do you feel like he's close? Because I get the sense, like, people in the PGA Tour, I know it was weird. Obviously, he went to live. They weren't happy. But then he came back, and he's paid his dues to an extent, literally and figuratively. I get the impression people at the PGA Tour, they want him to win. Like,
yeah.
They want him to get back and win again.
He was saying yesterday, he told us, he's like, whether it's a 10-footer, a 25-footer, or an 8-footer, they're all, like, just catching the lip. Like, is that just something where it's like you can't force it, right, but you got to bide your time, or is he just that good that sooner or later they'll just go in for him?
The other, I mean, he's going to start making putts. And the one thing that you can change overnight is a putter. Like, you can go from not making anything one day to all of a sudden, boom, you're like lead the field in strokes gained putting. Mm-hmm. You can't do that with ball striking. Like, there's not a guy out here who's going to lose 3.5 strokes to the field in ball striking tomorrow and then on Friday gain 5. Right. It's impossible because they don't have the skill set. Mm-hmm. Putting is technically, it's the easiest thing to do. My son can knock in a 5-footer. He doesn't know anything about the game, you know, compared to these guys. But we just get in our own head. But you can turn a putter fast.
I don't think he's happy with that comment. You're in trouble now, buddy. Yeah, he's like, excuse me? 5-footers
I'm
are
a
nothing.
golfer.
Yeah.
But and sometimes it's putting a different putter in the bag, maybe a different length, changing the weight, whatever it is. Find something to get to super fast greens where it's difficult for everybody to make putts. And then you don't feel as much pressure to make them. Right. And then they kind of start to go in. But he just needs to have like a round or two where the holes just starts to look bigger for him. And then they start rolling in. But Shinnecock is a place where, like, you have to do everything well, and it's a tough place to putt. Mm-hmm. So if he can strike the ball like he has been, and he's a power player, he's got everything.
Dude, if I told him yesterday, if I was him, I would just go grab that putter he used there and just rip it out of the warehouse and say, "You're going back to battle, man. Let's do it again."
He won at Shinnecock in 18. You know, that's he won at Bethpage.
Why wouldn't you?
He's a big
Just go
player.
grab it. I won on this course with this putter.
That's where we're going back to, baby.
Absolutely.
But he looked like really chill yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, he seems like a guy who's been.
I think he's a confident guy.
In the past, a little bit prickly, but like he seemed, I don't know, at peace. Like, he was pretty just chill.
I think guys with a couple $100 million in the bank, they walk around a little different around here.
But
that's fair.
I would say, though, and I don't know if you guys asked him, but I think that the welcome was way warmer than he anticipated it being. He didn't have to battle the stuff that I think that he, thought. So I think that helps as well. But yeah, he's unbelievable. I've walked with him like multiple times this year, and it's incredible to watch him hit the ball.
Graham Dillette with us. Yeah, you mentioned Liv, or we mentioned Liv. Like, no one knows if they're even going to play again. You know, it's kind of bizarre. Like,
I think they've got like 4 events left or something.
Yeah, they don't have a scheduled event for 40-plus days, and there's some reporting that they may not even get there. They may just pull the pin at that point. There's a lot of anticipation of what the PGA Tour is going to look like in 2 years, not next year. I think 2027 will be about the same. Sounds like by 2028 it's going to change. How much chatter around the greens, among the PGA Tour, the guys that you connect with, talk to, how much of that conversation is coming up, like the uncertainty of the future of pro golf?
I don't think a whole lot. I think most of these guys don't really care what those guys are doing. I mean, apart from a handful of names, does it do anything for the PGA Tour? there's guys that are going to be resentful that they didn't take the money, and now all of a sudden guys are like, welcome back with, I mean, pretty severe penalties.
Yeah,
if you're not a big name, GD, like how difficult is it going to be for those guys to get?
For those guys to come back, it's going to be very difficult.
Like a Gooch, like a Taylor Gooch and guys like that. They're just Kevin Na, like they're just not going to be like, come on.
You might not see him again.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, like guys out here, like myself, maybe like a comparable career for 10 years, you keep your job, you kind of mix it up once in a while, you have a couple good years or whatever. Like for a guy like that on the PGA Tour, an average player, I mean, they've lined their wallets for the past 4 years because of LIV. Like they don't care. Come back and play. Like it's the guys like the Fowlers and the Thomases and the Rorys or whatever that turn down big time money that are going to be like, really, we're letting these guys come back?
Right. Yeah, because they could have really cashed in, like really cashed in. And you're right. I mean, it's Bryson, it's Rahm, Cam Smith, Tyrrell Hatton. You know, there's 6, 7, 8 guys, and then Phil Mickelson just doesn't play anymore. Like no one knows what's going to happen.
He's
with Phil.
Disappeared. I don't know. He's got family stuff going on.
It's kind of bizarre. Like between Phil and Tiger, like they're just not around pro golf anymore. First time in 30 plus years.
Yeah.
You just don't see them. You don't hear from them. It's pretty wild. All right, Graham. Great seeing you, man.
Thanks for having me.
You guys ready to rock this week? What's the
are.
plan the rest of the week with the fam? You guys, they're coming?
They're going to come tomorrow, be out at the golf course pretty much all day watching some golf. They're going to come up into the tower on 18 and kind of see what Dad does.
I had one question for your family. Did they love the mustache?
My daughter was almost in tears when I shaved. I just shaved it a couple days ago.
That mustache was such a phenomenal look.
Thank you.
Like it had its own Twitter page and stuff like that. It was
the buzz in Montreal at the President's Cup when this guy was cruising around was absolutely phenomenal. That's the first time we saw it, I think.
Yeah.
I have to ask. You were upset that he shaved it off. You like the mustache?
You're asking his daughter.
You're only saying that because your dad's sitting right here.
No, she's confirming it. What about your wife? Was she okay with the stash?
She's indifferent. That's what she tells me.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All good. All good. There you go. Well, maybe we grow it back. It is possible.
Exactly.
There's always a chance.
Always a chance. All right, Graham. Great seeing you, bud.
Thanks
for doing this.
Appreciate
there he is, Graham Dillette, joining us around the table. We're live at the RBC Canadian Open, TPC Toronto. Frankie Corrado coming up. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and up on YouTube Live.
with Hayes.
All right, best bets coming up later in the hour. Frankie Corrado will join us, get Frankie's take on the Cup final, tied at 2, heading back to Carolina. Game 4 of the NBA Finals tonight. And very nerve-wracking for the Knicks, even though they're up 2-1. Like, that's the reality. It feels like it's nerve-wracking for the Knicks tonight.
I saw some stuff online, and it's just online stuff, but, like, some of the players were saying the routine getting in and everything was just a little bit different.
I don't know how the players can complain about that. Like, I get
agree.
the fans, but the players are going right under they want to get
not the other day they weren't. They would probably go right underneath as usual, but then their cars get looked at.
I guess so. I guess you're right. Yeah, you'd have to for sure. That's valid.
That's how something stupid happens if you just say, "All players, you guys do whatever you want."
No one gets the pass when the president's there. But nobody.
As a player, I remember there's a certain area where you pull into, and it's kind of blocked off. My understanding in looking at that nonsense the other day, they had fences everywhere and that. You're right. There would be layers. Even getting to the arena leading up to it, you're going to probably get there 3 hours before. As you know, New York City is a gridlock anyways. I can't imagine having the extra several layers of security with that. It would be a pain in the ass to get to.
I guess you're right because...
But you can't use that as an excuse. I was distracted because I had to go through.
Yeah, it's like the Spurs had to go through it too.
Yeah.
Their bus would have got tested out. They would have taken the long way in.
Maybe it was just a lot to handle, like NBA Finals back in your home building and the hype and the celebs and everything, and they just didn't perform.
Listen, the Spurs are allowed to play well.
Yeah, and
it was a must-win for the Spurs.
Wemby was unbelievable. And the other thing, too, when I played for the Rangers, we practiced in Rye, but we played at Madison Square Garden. That afternoon, we always had a hotel room. They gave you a hotel room right at the Peninsula, I think it was, across the street.
Yep.
So you could stay there and then walk across if you wanted to. Some guys didn't because they lived in the city or whatever. I lived like 8 blocks away, so it wasn't a big deal. But you would suspect that some of those guys would probably stay in that area just because you're locked in. It's a finals.
But at the same time, that would speak to your team being out of whack if maybe you don't normally stay there, but you're like, I have to.
Got to do it because of security, because of traffic, because of all that.
We saw it at the President's Cup, to put it into perspective, and it was, I believe it was George Bush. Like, it wasn't Biden. And they shut down everything.
Yeah.
Like getting him in and out.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't matter who the president is, they don't care.
Right.
They are shutting everything down.
Yeah.
He gets in and out.
Yeah.
There's no cutting corners.
Yeah, the whole highway was shut down.
Yes. Yeah, remember that? Like they literally shut down the whole highway. It was bizarre because we were going the other way.
Yeah.
And we're like, there's no one on the road for
cars.
10 minutes, and then all of a sudden this motorcade goes through.
Bombing through,
and then 10 minutes the other way, there was no cars. It was crazy. They completely shut it down, and that's for a former president.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if that's the reason, but we'll see. I mean, we'll see what comes of it tonight. Trump is not going to be there, so back to normal if you're the Knicks and if you're Knicks fans.
Yeah.
But it is a big game tonight. So more on that later in the hour. We'll get to our best bets. Jays, Phillies. The Jays looking for a series win tonight. But we're live at the RBC Canadian Open. The OverDrive PGA picks are brought to you by TaylorMade. It's time to find your new fast with QI 4D drivers. TaylorMade's fastest, most fittable drivers. Learn more at TaylorMadeGolf.ca/QI4D. I play it. You play it. Ashton McCullough plays it and hits absolute bombs. Colin Morikawa was right in front of me today. I saw him playing the QI4D. All right, do you want the first pick? Do you want to?
I had it last week. I'll give it to you.
I'm going to take Tommy Fleetwood. I will take Tommy. I think he's playing very well. He had that tournament last week at Memorial. He loves playing in Canada. He missed coming up last year, but he's back. He's got crazy pants, crazy gear. I'll take Tommy Fleetwood.
I'm going to throw a 3-pack at you.
Okay.
Brooks Koepka.
All right.
Shane Lowry.
Oh.
And I'm going to take a guy that I talked to on the putting green, like the reporter that I am, Adam Hadwin.
That's your Canadian pick, Adam Hadwin. with the ability to pick more Canadians if you want to. Okay, I like that.
Absolutely. I got a good feeling about Adam Hadam this week.
Okay, I'm taking Wyndham Clark based on what Graham Dillette just said about how he bombs the ball, and he's feeling it right now. I'll take Graham Dillette. I'm going to take Sammy Burns, also feeling it, was in contention last week, right? Looks probably the best gear on tour, top to bottom, I would say Sam Burns. And I will throw in a couple of Canadians. I'm going to take Nick Taylor. And I will also throw in Bob McIntyre.
Oh, yeah. Bobby Mack.
Yeah.
You know who I like? Cameron Young.
He's not up here. He's not playing.
He has to be. He's an RBC guy.
Cameron Young is not here. He's not playing.
Give me a Mac.
He was here last year.
He told me in the commercial break he was in the field.
Cam Young is not up here.
Doogie just threw you under the bus.
I thought Cam Young, being an RBC guy, would have to play.
Cammy's not here.
Thank you, Doogie Pepper.
Yeah.
Doogie Pepper just stepped in, but great pick on Cam Young.
He just threw you under the bus.
Doogie Pepper.
Sewer job.
Cam Young is not up here.
Give me Mac Hughes.
Yeah, there you go. Take Mac.
I'm going to take Mac Hughes and Sahith Thigala.
Okay, he's an RBC guy.
Yeah.
And I think, do I have one more pick, and that's it?
Yeah, you got one more.
Shane Lowry. I'll take Shane Lowry. Also.
Dog just took him, though.
Yeah, I took him.
Oh, I'm not even paying attention. You can tell I've been here since 6:30 this morning. Matt Fitzpatrick.
Fitzy?
That's a good pick.
Someone's got to take Fitzy.
I'll
take Fitzy. There you go. OverDrive PJ Picks brought to you by TaylorMade. It's time to find your new fast with QI4D drivers. TaylorMade's fastest, most fittable drivers. Learn more at TaylorMadeGolf.ca/QI4D. Not our best work. We took a guy who's not in the field, and then I took a guy who's already been picked. But it's all good.
You've had a long day. Now,
it's been a very long day. And I am getting these earmuffs. It's so hot in here. I am starting to...
Have them open that door. That's the problem.
Getting warmer.
We got to open that. We got to get some air flowing
here. I'm wearing a life preserver today.
I know you are. You're holding on to
1,000 degrees in here.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
There we go.
Now we can start belting, and all the boys on the putting green and on the range can listen to us.
Screaming, yelling, and screaming.
I love it. So I guess LeBron James did an interview with Time Magazine.
Crazy stuff.
What is crazy about this is it's the NBA Finals. Can you not just step aside until the summer?
I know.
You know, like I understand it's not he's not in control of when they're going to publish it. And if you're Time Magazine, you're thinking NBA Finals. This is the time.
Dude, you know why this went down is because it's the NBA Finals. He's not in it. And him and Rich Paul, they got to figure out a way to get LeBron James' name in.
Yes.
They always complain that they talk about him too much, but he always finds a way to do it himself.
Here's another example.
Dude, this guy posted a video of him chipping in, and it basically went viral. He made a birdie in golf.
It was a good shot, to his credit,
Dude,
but you're right. It's totally unnecessary.
Man. Unnecessary. Yeah. It's crazy-ass stuff.
So he said, I'm paraphrasing, it's a long article, but for whatever reason, the LeBron versus Jordan GOAT debate came up, and he said, I'm not taking anyone.
Yeah, he was asked his
myself.
2 cents on the GOAT, like the GOAT philosophy.
And he said, I'm the greatest of all time.
He said, there is no one, and I mean no one, ahead of me.
Yeah. But what else is he really going to say?
I know. It's
like it's weird because I remember old school NBA players always kind of resorting to the previous generation.
Right.
You know, like it always used to be in probably every sport, right? Like Wayne Gretzky, famous for it. Gordie Howe, greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I'm not. And McDavid, no, I'm not the best.
It's Sid. And I
remember in the NBA, it was the same thing. No, it was Bill Russell. No, it was Wilt. It was like uncomfortable to say it's you. And to be fair to LeBron, Jordan changed the game because MJ is like, I'm the greatest.
Yeah.
Like he is not really deferring, I don't think, to anybody else. But it's just, can you wait 2 weeks?
This is
wait
the thing.
2 weeks until the finals over.
I was going to bring this up because we've been just talking about the Mike Babcock stuff, okay? Do you think the NHL's happy that Babcock is front and center in the finals?
Great point.
And you just mentioned LeBron. They're having a great finals between, Wemby's there and the Knicks, and they're talking LeBron.
Yeah.
Like,
you're right.
You want the focus to be on the teams that are in it and the games that they're playing, not this guy on a podcast and not this coach that a team that lost in the first round.
It's a great point. It is a great, like, you can't. The NBA can't control LeBron, can't control Time Magazine. The NHL, teams have a job to do.
Well, exactly. The Oilers have to fill that. But like right now,
the timing is terrible because honestly, if you're at the Stanley Cup final, like a lot of people are, and you're doing updates, I think the last 2 days, and this has been a phenomenal Cup final, the last 2 days, the first topic, if I'm an executive producer of one of these shows, Mike Babcock.
No, it's second to the game.
Johnny said it to us yesterday.
Mike Babcock.
Johnny said it to us yesterday. He's working with the network down there and teasing everybody.
There you go.
He goes, number one topic around the whole building
Everyone's buzzing.
is Mike Babcock.
Gary must be pissed at that.
That's what I'm saying.
Stanley Cup Finals and all they're talking about is now Babcock in a pending investigation that's going to be going through because of a second alleged incident that's not public, and Gary must be like,
dude,
enough.
Although it came out after Gary's press conference, which is probably convenient as well.
Yeah.
But
it kind of takes away a little bit.
No, you're right.
And I get it. You have to do the business of sports, whether it's the NBA or the NHL. But it just you would think in a candid moment, NHL PR's like, can we just
wait a week and a half?
10 days.
Yeah, it's one of the all-time great Cup finals.
Yeah.
Give us a little bit of time.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, here's our TSN hockey analyst, Frankie Corrado, joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. What's happening, Frankie?
There he is.
Not much, boys. How we doing?
We're doing good, Frankie. We're just watching some pro athletes putt on the putting green, and I want to start this interview off with a question for you. If someone called you, like McJesus in Edmonton, and said, Frankie, you were around Mike Babcock for a couple years or however long it was, do you think we should hire him as a coach, and you only had two options, yes or no, what one would you say?
You're really painting me into a corner here. Can I give you a nuanced answer other than just yes or no? Because I think there's a little more to it at this point. Can I, like...
Dude, I don't want to do you dirty. Like, I know it's kind of a tough question, but if McJesus phoned you and said, should we go ahead with this, what would you say, yes or no?
I would say no.
An explanation
afterwards. I would say no, but and Noodles, I remember having a conversation with you when we were doing a hot zone, and you and I both had a coach in mind that was going to ruffle feathers, but it would be worth it to talk to those guys. My guy was Babcock, because I said at the time, and I still stand by this, Babs is one of the smartest, most detailed hockey guys in the world. So for the Edmonton Oilers, with where they're at right now, why wouldn't you pick up the phone and just say, Babs, you watch a lot of hockey. Everyone knows he's not like on safari or hunting in the woods. The guy watches more hockey than anyone with a yellow notepad writing stuff down every time. So tell us what you think needs to happen here. I would have that conversation with him. But as far as managing people, running a bench, operating the day-to-day, making adjustments within games and series, that is not his forte. But if the four of us sat around a table and watched hockey with him for even 20 minutes, we would all learn something about the game. So I think it would be worth it to talk to him. But this is where I think if you're the Oilers and Connor McDavid, you got to be careful what you wish for here, because it comes with a lot of baggage. It comes with a huge ego. And the Edmonton Oilers are not one Mike Babcock away from winning a Stanley Cup. Like, there's a lot of work that needs to happen on that roster before you can say that this is the guy that puts us over the edge. We could say right now, as we sit here today, teams in the Western Conference that are better than Edmonton: Colorado, Dallas, Vegas, Utah, Anaheim, Minnesota. It's 6 teams right in 4 seconds. So they're more than that's one issue, but they got a lot more issues than that.
All right, let's say, we'll flip it. We're not going to play role play the whole time here for you, Frankie. But
there's no role play. That was a yes or no question.
I guess
it was a great answer, though.
Yeah,
that was a great answer.
A hypothetical. I think it was a great answer. Question. Hypothetically speaking, very good question. Hypothetically speaking, Bruce Cassidy calls you up, John Chaika, and goes, "Give me a shot. I want to be the coach of the Leafs."
Now we are playing role play level of control.
How do you respond to that?
In a very nice way, I am going to say thanks, but no thanks. You're not the right voice for this team right now, because I think if we look back at Bruce Cassidy over the past couple jobs that he has had, yes, he won a Stanley Cup with the Vegas Golden Knights, and he is widely regarded as one of the best, most detailed coaches in the NHL. He also grinds guys to the point where they question, can they even play at this level anymore? And maybe he's got a different way of doing it than Babs. I don't know. Like, I obviously never played for Bruce Cassidy, but it happened in Boston. They fired him. It just happened in Vegas. They had to fire him. And John Tortorella was the tender touch that they hired in place of Bruce Cassidy. Just think about that for a second. So doesn't that tell you about what was going on in Vegas? I would say where our team is at right now, we don't need the yelling and screaming. We don't need the get your heads out of your you-know-whats. We need something a little bit different. So great coach, maybe not the right fit here right now.
So Cup final, again, we were kind of joking prior to having you on, Frankie. There's so many distractions right now. The Mike Babcock story in particular, Joe Pavelski, Bruce Cassidy. But the final has been it's been bedlam. I mean, it's just been wild through 4 games, and we don't really have a read collectively on where this is going to go. So where do you stand on things now? Carolina, Vegas, how are you feeling about this now that you've seen these 2 teams play 4 times?
See, last night after the game, when we were doing our post-game hits, I basically said the same thing. Like, I have no read on where this thing is going to go. Flip a coin, and wherever it lands, that's who's going to win this thing. But I thought about it more today. If you're Carolina and you stop giving up breakaways and 2-on-1s and quick transitions, where is Vegas going to get their offense from? Because I feel like the Vegas Golden Knights have really preyed on what Carolina is doing in regards to being over-aggressive with the puck or defensemen getting involved in the play a little too much, and they're countering it. If you clean up that aspect, then in theory, Carolina's in a really good spot. But to your point, Hayes, and maybe you guys have talked about this earlier, there's like a wild X factor in Brandon Bussey in being in net for Carolina, which he was really good when he needed to be late in that game. Like the save on Eichel with like 7.5 minutes to go, and then in the last couple minutes, there was a lot of action, but it never looked totally settled. Like you just watch him and you're like, there's a lot of net there. So we'll see kind of how it plays out, but it just kind of felt like if Carolina cleaned up some of the stuff they were doing, they were going to be in a really good spot moving forward.
All right, best bets coming up on the NBA Finals tonight. Back at the RBC Canadian Open, TPC Toronto. There he is, Frankie Corrado. Just a little break. Can we bring Frankie
I
back?
thought it was the internet in Woodbridge. You never know
I was thinking
Frankie,
the same
right?
thing. You never know with Frankie. But thank you for sticking around, Frank. What you want to finish your answer on Bussy and the Carolina Hurricanes? I know it was us. It was our fault.
I felt like Hayes. Like the phone dropped, and it was Hayes' phone that dropped. And I'm in here, and I'm answering, talking to
No chance.
The van.
Listen, that's a professional van, man.
Every once in a while, the Gap man.
You know what?
Pulled out the cord by accident.
When he used to have the ice cream truck, we never had power issues. So we might need to bring that old truck back, Gap man, and we won't have any problems.
Let's park the ice cream truck right on the range next year and just peek our heads out and see what clubs guys are hitting. I love it.
I love that sleep here.
Oh, yes.
Imagine the boys having a slumber party.
Can you imagine Max Homa wheeling out there and we're barbecuing? We're barbecuing mid-evening on the ice cream truck.
Yes, I love that idea. We'll throw out that request.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, role play. I don't know what games we've been playing.
You were talking about Cassidy to the Leafs.
Yeah,
Frankie shut that down as well.
He did, which I like and I appreciate. And now we're into the Brandon Bussy game. Like, are you a Bussy believer here? I guess game 5, 6, and 7 if need be.
So he's got to play 2 really good games to give them a chance to win. Like, here's the combination. Bussy makes all the saves he's supposed to make for 2 games, and you get the wins. And at the same time, Carolina stops giving up breakaways and odd man rushes. And that's the recipe for them. It's fairly simple, because if they're not as careless or not as reckless, then Vegas has a harder time kind of grinding Carolina down. But they have to be willing and able to do that.
So even if Carolina wins the Cup, is Mitch Marner still your Conn Smythe winner, or is there anybody that pokes your head out for Carolina?
I think Jordan Staal. I think Jordan Stahl's been a great story. It's a little bit of recency bias because of, what he's done in the series. But this is the series that gets you a Stanley Cup. So why not have the biggest moments? And I think for Jordan Staal, a couple things. First of all, the way he plays very much embodies the Carolina Hurricanes, right? Like, just very industrious, hardworking, nothing super flashy. That's the Hurricanes. The other thing is Sebastian Aho is not giving you much offense right now, and you're getting your offense from 2 lines. So Jordan Staal, who's mainly a defensively responsible guy, matchup guy, is giving you the offense. So that's like he's picking up the slack in a big way. The other thing, if you look last night, Jordan Staal plays about 4.5 minutes on 5-on-5 against Eichel and against Marner and against Barbashev and against Stone. Like, a lot of times the guys that have to play those big 5-on-5 minutes against the team's best forwards, it's hard for them to find that extra ice to get a shot off or to get a puck in front of the net. Like, he's playing 5 or so minutes against McNabb, who is equally as big and strong. But Jordan Staal is not only keeping Eichel quiet, he's scoring. And so I think it's a pretty compelling argument if Carolina were to win the Cup that Jordan Staal could be the guy that wins the Conn Smythe.
Yeah, I think that's definitely
fair,
doable.
Yeah.
I think Tortorella threw him a bone last night after the game too, and he said Jordan Staal is killing us in front of the net.
Yeah,
like killing us. We can't move him, and he's making plays.
He's a horse.
He's an absolute horse. And
the goal he scores,
listen, Marner. Go ahead.
The goal he scores to win that game, there might not be a lot of guys who could get that reach on that puck and elevate it the way he did. Like, that could just be unique to Jordan Staal. Like, I don't know how many guys have that kind of strength within that, like, elongated range to get that into the back of the net.
Yeah. No, it's valid. Marner, I thought he was the best player on the ice, though, last night again. Like, that backdoor pass he made to Eichel in the third was unbelievable. And Eichel, he couldn't bury. Yeah. Eichel just doesn't score.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing.
Not a good finals for him.
He doesn't score. Like, yes, he plays 2-way, and he does create because he's a big body.
Good skater, powerful.
But he does not score. And Mitch Marner, he, again last night, calculating points, putting up numbers. Every time he's got the puck, he got hit a couple times last night, got right up.
Yeah, you just mentioned Eichel. He might be, like we talked about what Carolina has to do. Frankie just mentioned it. Saves you got to make from Bussy, stop eliminating. Vegas's might be as simple as Carter Hart needs to wake up himself, and Jack Eichel needs to come alive.
Yeah.
And that might be part of their recipe. And if they get that, maybe maybe they get it done.
Yeah, it's interesting because Carter Hart was so good leading up to these finals, right? Like, his game has tailed off in a big way, and Vegas has really they've exposed some of Carolina's flaws. But I guess the question after that is, if Eichel doesn't score, and then you're relying on Howden to do it more, which he continues to do it. Like, it's a remarkable run for Howden, and William Karlsson is a really valuable two-way player. But, like, William Karlsson is supposed to be a matchup guy. So, I guess we're talking about Stahl scoring in a matchup role, Karlsson scoring in a matchup role. Like, at some point, do the big boys click in either way, whether it's Aho or Svechnikov or Eichel? And that could be the difference in the series.
Yeah. Well, someone's going to keep stepping up, right? Like, one of these teams is obviously going to win 2 of the next 3. Howden, I don't know how it continues to happen. Like, it was a really nice play made. I thought Bussy had to have that puck.
Yeah.
Like you got to make that
Those
stop.
are sizzling shots, though. It's something like those shots that the curl and drag, and then you whip it off the stick and the skates of the defender. It somehow has some extra gas on it, and it just goes under the bar, and nobody has a chance.
It's a great play. 14 goals.
Regular season, though, he hits the crossbar, it goes over the net. Right now, he's got something. He's feeling.
He's shooting 40%. Right, I think it's something crazy like that, like a 40%. So it's not sustainable in the long run, but this is not the long run. You need it for a couple more games.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Last night when you listen to the broadcast, I always do this, Frankie. I'm sure you do this when you call games. Halfway through the game, you're like, I haven't heard that guy's name. That's Aho for me. I don't know if he had one play beside the net where he jammed it, and he ended up on his knees, and I think it was Hannafin or somebody gave him a little pop in the lips.
Very perimeter.
But
right
outside
now.
of that, I haven't noticed or heard Aho's name a lot. And that's where you pointed out, Frankie. It's got to be Aho or Svechnikov. It's got to be Eichel. Guys like Dorofeev, quiet. The top guys have to be difference makers. But that's what games 5 to 7 is for.
You still have an opportunity to build a legacy here.
Exactly.
And Aho, you're right. I mean, that consistently comes up. Like, imagine if he came alive.
Got going, yeah.
Because he looks like a shell. And I would say Svechnikov, the same thing. Not doing much. Like, Aho last night made a couple plays in the third period where it was like, get it off my stick.
Yeah.
Just get it out of here.
Both of those guys not even close to their A game.
What's so funny over there?
There is a picture of Frankie that was
because the power went out the last segment.
The power went out, and it's his face on the screen. National TV.
Live on TSN. He's just Frankie.
He's Garth, just there.
Garth
by
Algar.
Himself.
I'm having a good time.
Can
you say that for us, Frankie, on the way out? Give us some Garth Algar.
Dude, I just want to say that, like, I kind of figured something went wrong, but I didn't want to just say, hey, guys, are you there? Is something wrong? Because that would look...
That's what you can't say. Like, hello? You can't start doing the hello routine.
Bruce Boudreau. Hello.
I said to myself, I am going to talk until they take me off the air, and I am having the time of my life doing it.
That's a pro, because we were doing it here too. We weren't even on the air. We just kept going.
I know.
We're like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Anyway, Frankie, great stuff, buddy. Thanks for sticking with us. We'll do it again soon.
All right, boys. See you soon.
There he is, Frankie Corrado, joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. It's time to Toyota check out the Toyota Tacoma and Toyota Tundra pickup trucks, both available as hybrids. Maple Toyota near Canada's Wonderland on the Maple Auto Mall. There's still people going out for the Pro-Am. Like,
Imagine
I just
the
saw
excitement level of these cats wheeling out there at 6 p.m. p.m.
I saw a 5:35 picture being taken on the 10th tee. Like, that's a pro going out for the back nine.
Yeah.
With the
and
pro
this is your pro. He qualified in Turkey. Enjoy the round.
Well, more than likely it's someone that's very happy to be here.
It's lower down on the totem pole.
More than likely, yes. But anyway, Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. I'm back on the Knicks tonight. I'm laying the 2.5. I think they respond. Game 3's out of the way. I think the energy in the building is high.
You can't go from one thing or the other. You're like, I want 7, and then you're calling the Knicks to win again.
It's one thing to say I want it. It's another thing to say I think it's going to happen.
I think Wemby has another night.
You're a secret Knicks fan. You're not a secret Knicks fan. I think you want to see them win a championship.
I think it would be I understand that's weird. The Raptors are in the same division. It's New York. I don't need New York to have success.
Yeah.
But there's something relatable about the Knicks going 53 years without winning a championship. And it's not only the Knicks. The Spurs have won 5 titles in the last 27 years.
Yeah.
Step aside. And you've got a decade plus here. If Wemby's healthy, they got all those young kids. They're going to win titles.
Yeah,
the Knicks, if they don't win this, they may not win for 50 more years. It feels like this is their opportunity.
So you want James Dolan to be right in the middle
when you put it that way, that does
handing
kind
it to Charles Oakley.
Right. Maybe they kumbaya.
Yeah, there you
Dolan
go.
and Oakley. Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Same-game parlays available for every NBA final game on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Please play responsibly, 19+, physically located in Ontario. All right, thanks to everyone for helping out here. It's been a great day. It's a beautiful afternoon here. The sun's out. Mackenzie Hughes out there working on his short game a little bit.
With my coach, Ralphie Bauer. You see the dedication from Ralphie?
Dude.
And he'll do the same treatment. If you go, I go.
He was laying on the green watching putts.
He put a
break.
ball on a tee.
Yeah.
He was looking at the angle.
That's a professional.
The best coach, best putting coach, Ralphie.
Well, we're rooting for Mac. All the Canadians start tomorrow. First up will be here. Golf Talk Canada tomorrow. We're back here tomorrow. We can't wait for it. So thanks to everyone behind the scenes for helping out. Doogie Pepper, everyone back at the studio, the Gap Man, the truck, everything. And thanks for tuning in today. TV, radio, podcast, web, up on YouTube Live, streaming later up on Crave. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy the games tonight. We're back tomorrow at...
Gap Man, let's be better tomorrow. 4 p.m.
Chat then.
We are now under 24 hours away from kickoff of the largest World Cup ever. 48 teams, 3 host countries, with the opening match being played in Mexico City between Mexico and South Africa tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. The first of 2 matches in Mexico on Thursday, and the first World Cup match on Canadian soil takes